heels down on the ground. It was Sunday night when I got into town. I thought I'd venture out, take a look around. I figured it'd be dead when I got downtown. But it always jammed with scooters and pedicabs. I saw a dog wearing shades and a pirate hat. All the joints were jumping, the place was packed. I asked Robert at the tuna, is it always like that? He said down at mile 0 in the Florida Keys, ain't no one complaining about the life they lead. 7 days a week here, it's paradise. Welcome to Key West, my friend, where it's always Saturday night. That's right. It's kind of like Nashville with a tan. Now at the Sunset Tiki, Clint sings and plays guitar, and he never puts any miles on his car. He bikes it to work cause it ain't that far. Knows the day of the week by who's standing bar. Yeah, way down at mile 0 in the Florida Keys, ain't no one complaining about the life they lead. 7 days a week here, it's paradise. Welcome to Key West, my friend, where it's always Saturday night. That's right. Well, it's a never-ending party going every night. Is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday? Hell, I lost track of time. I got a little drunk and I missed my flight, so I guess I'll have to stay here, but that's alright. Cause way down at mile 0 in the Florida Keys, ain't nobody bitching about the life they lead. 7 days a week here, it's paradise. Welcome to Key West, my friend, where it's always Saturday night. Welcome to Key West, my friend, where it's always Saturday night. Welcome to Nashville, Tennessee, where it's always Saturday night, even when it is Wednesday. I see my buddy Mike is online. How does it sound out there, Mike? Is it good? Just getting rolling, making sure everything's great. Here, I haven't done a live stream in a while and just thought this ought to be fun. I did one with Anthony Smith recently, and we had a great time. So I thought, well, shoot, I want to do one of my own. And Anthony switched his live stream night to Tuesdays. So here it is Wednesday. That's how I'm doing mine now. Anyway, thanks for joining. Hope everything sounds good, looks good. Cheers, y'all. So this is going out. This is going out live to Facebook, but also to YouTube. So I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Thom Shepard. And I've been interviewing songwriters lately. And that's been cool. I love it. It's great just talking shop with folks, you know, and just kind of getting the behind-the-scenes stuff, behind-the-scenes stories. Oh, I see my buddy Scott's on here, and Bill from down in Palm Coast. Thank you guys for joining me. Also, if you got a request, just put it in the comments there, and we'll see where we go from here. But anyway, so I'm excited to see how this does on YouTube. I've done it on Facebook a lot, and YouTube only maybe once or so. But so let's see here. How about let's see. What should we play? Maybe something newer. How about a new, or no, let's do an old one. I got some Ray-Bans I bought from a Mexican on the coast of Costa Maya on a week-long getaway. all I saw through those lenses were good times and drunk frenzies. How we should have never ended. We were there today. She said we don't need Jamaica or a beach in Kiowa, just a backyard destination where the sun shines free. And the buzz in my cabezas inflated my imagination, and the lime in my cerveza tastes just like vacation. Shrimp cocktail from the IGA's a far cry from fresh ceviche. A two-person conga line is all we really need. So baby, kick off your sneakers, raise your eyes for it, tattoo the pan band and the Bluetooth speaker, and come and dance with me. Cause we don't need Jamaica or a beach in Kiowa, just a backyard destination where the sun shines free. And the buzz in my cabezas inflating my imagination, and the lime in my cerveza tastes just like vacation. Yeah. I got some red bands I bought from a Mexican on the coast of Costa Maya on a week-long getaway. Even though I'm back at my home, every time I put those shades on and my baby squeezes my lemon, we're 1,000 miles away, and we ought to go back someday. But until then I say, honey, we don't need Jamaica or a beach in Kiowa, just a backyard destination where the sun shines free. And the buzz in my cabezas inflating my imagination, and the lime in my cerveza tastes just like vacation. Alright, okay, we got a few requests coming here. Thank y'all for joining me today on my live stream. I haven't done this in a while, but I thought it would be fun. And I see we do have one guy from YouTube. Our buddy Stony Gable is online out there in Texas. I'm broadcasting live from the, this is the 8-Track Entertainment Studios, my office here in Nashville. Hermitage, actually, outside of Nashville. And cheers, everybody. So, let's see. All right, so my buddy Stoney, he's a Texan. He wanted to hear this song here about the feeder road. I had a gig one time down at the place called Do-Si-Do, which is in Houston, the Woodlands. And if you're not familiar with the Texas highways, there's like the highway, and then there's like a road alongside the highway that's called the feeder road or the frontage road. And when I got off to go to Do-Si-Do, I got off on the frontage road, and I was going down, and I missed it. I missed the place. Well, it's one way. So you got to go down to the next exit, loop under, come back around, and all that. So that's where this song was inspired by. Now the Texas interstate highway system is an awesome sight to behold, especially around towns like Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. You better buckle up and get your GPS ready. It's like navigating through a big bowl of spaghetti. Running alongside of all of that mess is a thing called the feeder road. I'm a-doing that feeder road, Do-Si-Do, yeah, I can't get to where I wanna go. Round and around, nobody knows, damn that feeder road. Now say you're flying down the highway and you're going about 90 and you see a place that you wanna stop. Well, first you gotta drive and drive and drive until you find a place to get off. And then you take that feeder and you keep on speeding till you hit that turnaround. And Then you gotta backtrack about 5 miles back till you find yourself an over or an underpass. Turn around at the exit that you already passed, and I swear you're almost there. Now I could see that Valero from the interstate. All I wanted was a case of beer. Now I'm about to lose it. Am I really that stupid? Cause I can't get there from here. I'm doing that feeder road, do-si-do, yeah, I can't get where I wanna go. Round and around, nobody knows, down that feeder road. Now some feeder roads go both directions, most only go one way. I was on 35, thought I'd stop and get a bite, coming back from a gig I played. So I wound around and I finally made it down to the Chick-fil-A, only to realize that it was Sunday. Chick-fil-A, what a dirty, rotten trick to play. Now we'll have to settle for Subway. Oh, I'm in love with Chick-fil-A. It's more like lust. So I'm doing that feeder road, do-si-do, yeah, I can't get where I wanna go. Round and around, nobody knows, down that feeder road. You gotta jump down and turn around and pick a bale of cotton. It's gonna take a while, boys. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Am I the only one that's got a big problem with this thing called the feeder road? What is wrong with the plain old intersection? I always thought I had a pretty keen sense of direction, but ever since I moved down to Texas, been doing that feeder road, do-si-do, yeah, I can't get where I wanna go. Round and around, nobody knows, damn that feeder road. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, happy Wednesday evening, y'all. Thank you for joining me on my live stream. And like I said, it's going out on YouTube and it's going out on Facebook. Now, on my YouTube, I've been doing a lot of songwriter interviews, and my plan is to do more kind of instructional stuff about songwriting in the music biz, like how to do things. I thought about maybe calling it How to Get Out of the Music Business with Thom Shepard. You know, not that you're getting out of it, but it's more like how to get out of the music business and into the you business. Because with the internet, you can do anything is possible. I was thinking about it the other day. You know, when I moved to Nashville back in the day, many, many years ago, which, by the way, tomorrow is my anniversary of moving to Nashville, right out of college. 32 years ago, 1993, I moved here. And but I was thinking back then, really, the main way you could like get out to the world was through a record deal. And so, you know, for years I just, you know, tried to do that, and then slowly but surely I started seeing other artists, especially the Texas guys like Robert Earl Keen and Kevin Fowler and stuff, you know, and I saw they were out there, you know, kind of doing their own thing without really a big label behind them. And I thought, so it's not just, you don't just have to have a big label to have fans and people that like your music. You just got to get out there and play and build your fan base. And so, and now, especially now with the social media, I mean, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, here we are right now. All you need is a camera and a good internet connection and good audio and all that. And hey, putting on a show worldwide. So anyway, but thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to get to some of these requests here, I guess. Let's see. I think we may have the first Venmo request. That's always good. Okay. This one I haven't done in a while. I remember I was living out in Mount Juliet at the time when I wrote this with my friend Jerry. Well, I was 10 minutes into a sunset stroll on a beach of black sand when I saw him with his little folding table set up behind a pineapple stand. And for only 20 bucks, he'd paint a coconut with my favorite ball team on it. You know, it looked like something a kid could have done. But I bought it, and the folks were lining up at his beachfront business. It didn't take him much to make a living. No emails and no website, just a paintbrush and a Mai Tai. Cash only, no credit, no Facebook friends, and I bet he don't regret it. Just working with his hands in the sunshine on the sand. Man, ain't that the life? Painting coconuts in paradise. That Facebook line originally was no MySpace friends. That's how old this song is. Time flies. Let's see, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, a piece of that song. That's from my friend Scott. My buddy Rich Rizzo is online. Hey, man. Good to see you. I did the very first song demo I ever sang was for Rich Rizzo. That was when I was going to George Mason. And he hired me to sing a song of his. I don't remember the name now, but that was a while ago. That was before I moved here. So Bill from down in Palm Coast had a request. So I'm going to do that one. Let me see. Let's get this other guitar here. This is a Martin SC10 that just got this past year. Still got Big Red. That guitar I was playing is not Big Red. That's actually a donation guitar for the Red Guitar Campaign, which is going to be delivered Sunday to the St. Louis Fisher House. Thanks to the good people Mark and Colleen Fuchs out there at the Hangout in Sullivan, Missouri, where I am going to be this weekend. And there's an artist named Ben Chase who's going to open up the show. He's from Canada. He grew up on a lobster boat, so he's got some kind of, watery, boaty songs. So, anyway, I just thought this would sound good. I got Catherine, my friend Catherine's online, and Stephen City is checking in, and Stuart, Florida, and Nashville, Tennessee, and North Carolina. All right. This song here I wrote with my buddy Steve Williams. It's called Sand in Her Shoes. And she's making margaritas in a bar on the beach. Sells t-shirts to the tourists in a shop down the street. Makes handmade earrings and bracelets to make ends meet. She's renting an apartment on the second floor. It's an easy 5-minute ride down to the shore on that yellow bicycle that gets her back and forth. When she left Minnesota, one bag was all she packed. She came down on a round-trip ticket, but she only was half. She left behind the red hand stove for the coastline where the warm winds blow, and that emerald green water meets the sky that's always blue. Cold Corona and an old beach chair, Ray-Bans and her sun-bleached hair, and that year-round tan. She'll always have sand in her shoes. She's got a picture from that first trip with her mom and her dad, in her flip-flops and her pigtails and that little straw hat. Ever since she dreamed of living in a place like that. But when she graduated college, how could she have known she'd wind up in a cubicle answering phones, feeling like her whole life had been put on hold. So she left behind the red and snow for the coastline where the warm winds blow, and that emerald green water meets the sky that's always blue. Cold Corona and an old beach chair, Ray-Bans and her sun-bleached hair, and that year-round tan. She'll always have sand in her shoes. I've heard people say that maybe someday that some lucky guy's gonna sweep her away. She's falling hard before, but never hard enough to make her ever wanna leave her one true love. She left behind the rain and snow for the coastline where the warm winds blow, and that emerald green water meets the sky that's always blue. Cold Corona and an old beach chair, Ray-Bans and her sun-bleached hair, and that year-round tan. She'll always have sand in her shoes. She's got a year-round tan. She'll always have sand in her shoes. All right. Okay, I got a couple of requests here from YouTube about another car song. This was very cool. Went down to CMA Fest this past week, and Chevrolet had a display of a bunch of Chevys, like pickup trucks and Corvettes and all that stuff. And they had a '66 Corvette down there, and they asked our permission to use the lyric from Riding with Private Malone, like the note in the glove box. So it had this like sign next to it, and it looked like a piece of notebook paper or whatever with the words on it about, my name's Private Andrew Malone. If you're reading this, I didn't make it home. It was very cool. My co-writer Wood Newton met us down there, and we went and checked it out. It's pretty neat. I'm still waiting on Chevy to deliver my Corvette any day now. Hopefully. I like the '66 Corvette, but I think I'd be a lot more comfortable in the newer one, probably. So, Chevy, if you're watching, just a newer one. Not red. Red, so everybody has red. I want an interesting color. Actually, I was doing a gig out in Fredericksburg at this winery, and a guy pulled up in a brown Corvette. Now, you think they make Corvettes in brown? Well, it was called like electric mocha or something like that. It was actually pretty cool. It was like metallic, dark, espresso brown. It's pretty cool. So shortly after I wrote Private Malone, I wrote this song with my buddy Steve Williams. I think this was the second song we wrote. We wrote one called Life Ain't Fair, which got recorded by Blake Shelton. That was the first song we wrote, me and Steve. And but it didn't end up making the Blake Shelton album, so you can't find it out there anywhere. But the second song we wrote was another car song, a song about the station wagon. This is for Lee. We were watching out the window. Dad was on his way. He was bringing home our new car. We could hardly wait. A two-tone Cobra Mustang was my brother Joe's desire. Now I was hoping for a black Trans Am with that bird-breathing fire. When Dad pulled up in a country Esquire, he said, "Boys, you won't believe the super deal I got. Just take a look at that wood paneling and that luggage rack on top. I don't believe I've ever seen my dad so inspired." He slapped the hood and he took his foot and he kicked a white wall tire. He said, "Boys, get your stuff." And we loaded up the country Esquire. Family transportation, fun and relaxation, perfect for vacation. That's what it said on the flyer, country Esquire. We wind up in that backseat, you know, the one that faced the rear, staring out that tailgate, watching that road disappear. Flying through the Ozarks where the 2 lanes turn and twist. Hey Dad, pull over, I think Joey's getting sick. And Dad didn't want to, but Mom changed his mind, 'cause man, he was making good time. And that country squire, family transportation, fun and relaxation, man, it was perfect for vacation. Well, that's what it said on the flyer. We'd take her to the drive-in, deer hunting in the fall. We could pick up half the team, baseball bats and all. After skiing all weekend, I never felt so tired, and I'd fall asleep in those vinyl seats in the back of that country squire. Dad knew what he was doing, and now that I look back, you know, I'm glad he didn't bring home a vet or a Cadillac. And I owe a great big thank you to the man I most admire. My greatest childhood memories were made in that country squire. Family transportation, fun and relaxation, man, it was perfect for vacation. And that's what it said on the flyer. A country squire. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, my buddy Barry's online. I'm going to do a song from a friend, Barry, here. This is let's see, I think I'm going to use the red guitar for that one. So, anyway, oh, there it goes. Shoot. Missed the mark there. Put that on the blooper reel. All right. Anyway. But I'm glad you guys are joining me today. Like I said, I'm planning on doing more live streams on YouTube and Facebook. And on my YouTube channel, it's more, I do mostly like songwriter interviews and instructional things about how to write songs and how to mainly navigate the music business as an independent artist. So if you got any questions about the music biz, we could talk about that as well. I can sing, I can tell you stories, I can give you pointers on, what to do with your music, all that kind of thing. So you just got to tell me what you want to hear. What would you like? But for right now, I am gonna do a song for my friend Barry. Now, Catherine was asking me where my beautiful better half Coley is. She is actually in Minnesota right now. Our niece Ariel is getting ready to have her second child, and she's having a time with the morning sickness. And a lot of y'all know her husband Randy Dobnak. He pitches for the Minnesota Twins, and he is on the road this week playing baseball. So she's been having a rough go. So Coley went up there to help her with her child that she already has, whose name is River. River's like about a year and a half old. So she's a handful. So Coley is up there getting in that little niece time right now. But I'm going to send this song out to Barry and also Jeff. And see, Jeff, I got the red guitar now. It's a cowboy song. I got to tell y'all a little bit about this song. So, there's a group of guys that I go on a trail ride with every year down in Texas, out in a place called Hunt, Texas. My friend Jeff's out there. My buddy Barry goes out to this ride, and I wanted to write a song about how I felt about all those guys, because it's a great bunch of guys. And I've never been a guy that's been in a lot of like clubs or never been in a fraternity or anything like that. But this is way better than that, I think. All these guys that I'm friends with on this trail ride. And some of the guys that go on the ride every year are musicians. So when it came time to record the song, I had recorded it, And I got the brilliant idea to see if some of those members of the trail ride that are musicians would sing with me on the song. So I ended up getting Gary P9, Red Stegall, Trent Wellman, Kevin Fowler, Randy Brown, Roger Krager, then a guy named Cody Johnson. It's called Till I Met the Cowboys. Sitting tall in the saddle, riding all alone, lost and looking for direction to any other trail than the one that I was on. When I came across these cowboys in a canyon northwest of San Antonio, they shook my hand and they took me in, that's when I knew I'd found a home. And they all might be crazy, but they're my closest friends. And they've been right beside me through the thick and the thin. We ride together, roll together, been through all kinds of weather. Stay out late and make some noise. Never knew that I'd find friends, good friends for life, till I met the cowboys. Some are known for winning buckles, some for closing down the bar. They're the kind of men when you ride with them, bring out the best in who you are. And I'm proud to be one of them. I ain't scared to say I love them. When we all sing along with that old bunkhouse band, we got a bond that's like no other, and they're my brothers till the end. They all might be crazy, but they're my closest friends. And they've been right beside me through the thick and the thin. We ride together, roll together, been through all kinds of weather. Stay out late and make some noise. I never knew that I'd find friends, good friends for life, till I met the cowboys. No name, Cohair and Bravo, Coon-Ass and Baracho. God bless them boys on Maverick Hill. As we ride together, roll together, been through all kinds of weather. Stay out late and make some noise. Never knew that I'd find friends, good friends for life, and they'll bail you out in the middle of the night. That is if they ain't sitting right there by your side. I never knew that life could be such a hell of a ride, till I met the cowboy. Till I met those cowboys. Oh man, this red guitar is sounding mighty fine. Now this is not Big Red, this is actually a Taylor 214. Big Red is a Taylor 615. And I've had Big Red now, gosh, for 19 years already. Incredible. But this guitar here is going to be donated to the St. Louis Fisher House this weekend. I got a gig up there at a place called The Hangout in Sullivan, Missouri, which is out near the Uranus Fudge Factory, which so many of y'all like to tell me all about. Let's just leave that at that right now. But anyway, it's our friends Mark and Colleen Fuchs are hosting a concert this weekend with me and a guy named Ben Chase. And then Sunday, we're going to deliver this red guitar to the Fisher House so that people that stay at the Fisher House can play it. Now, you might say, what is the Fisher House? It's like a big bed and breakfast that is for people in the military or their families when they're in need. Like if you have a loved one who's in the military, let's say they have a traumatic brain injury, and they're going to be in there for a while, like 6 months or a year or whatever. As a family member, you can come stay at the Fisher House for free, totally for free, as long as you need to. And also, I've delivered a few of these red guitars around the country, and I went to one in, I think it was down in Houston, and a guy was there, and he was actually a veteran, but he was getting treatments for like some kind of long-term cancer treatment where they had to he couldn't leave. He had to stay there, but he was not bedridden. I mean, he's fine, but they didn't want him to go out in the public because his immune system was shot. And so he's just basically stuck at the Fisher House for 6 months, not really allowed to go outside much. So when I brought the guitar, he said, well, I don't know how to play guitar, but I got all this time. Maybe I'll learn. So hopefully he did. That was a couple years ago. But anyway, happy Wednesday night, y'all. Thanks for joining me here on my live stream on Facebook and YouTube. And let's see. Oh, I got a request for an old song. Man, if I can remember it. From Michigan. From Clayton. Let's see here. Oh, Clayton gave me a squadron patch. Man, I still have those patches. And I have a bunch of those challenge coins too as well. So, man, I haven't played this one in a while. I got to see if I can remember how it goes. I still have the last song kind of stuck in my head. Okay, I think I got it. This song was written, it's funny, this song was written in '03. And it was about how, things were changing in the music business, even back in '03. People were starting to download stuff. Well, illegally back then. It was Napster and Kazaa and LimeWire, which ironically, you might not know this, but you might listen to your music on Spotify. You might listen to your music on YouTube Music or Apple Music. But Napster has an app, just like those guys do. But the thing about it is Napster pays us 16 times what Apple pays us. 16 times. This is no lie. Whereas we might get 0.001 cent for a stream on Apple. Napster pays 0.016. That's 16 times, y'all. So think about it. If you want to help songwriters, download that Napster app and listen to your stuff on there. I think they have everything else everybody else does. But I remember going and playing this. I went to go to Washington, D.C. with the Nashville Songwriters Association, and we met with senators and congressmen to tell them about our, current situation back in '03, that far back. And I remember getting to play in Private Malone. And, when I came back from that trip, I was thinking about how, when we would talk to the senators and congressmen, our representative from NSAI, he wouldn't just give them a bunch of stats and numbers. He would just say, Senator, what song did they play at your wedding? I understand that your mother passed away recently. What song did they play at her funeral? Just to get those guys in the mindset of what are songs like that worth, So, I'm going to try this song for Clayton. You can hear a pin drop at the Broken Spoke Cafe every time my buddy gets up on the stage to sing and play. He's been here almost 10 years, still waiting for that break. But last night he really floored me with what he had to say. He said, I'm thinking about getting out, and man, it's killing me. Oh, this is a dang Steve Williams hard chord song. Said, I'm thinking about getting out, man, it's killing me. But that Cinderella story, dang it, I don't know if I can do it. Sorry, that's when I have to woodshed I love writing with my friend Steve. We've written Sand in Our Shoes. We wrote Redneck Yacht Club, Country Squire. We've written so many things. He's such a killer musician, but it's hard. Some of the chords he does are hard. You see. I can't do it. Sorry, man. Well, I'll have to try that for next time. I promise, if I do this again next time, I'll work on that song. Next week, actually, I won't be here on Wednesday because I'm going to Vegas Wednesday to go see Kenny Chesney playing at the Sphere. And then there's Thursday night, got a gig in Vegas. It's a house concert at a place called Captain Rick's in Vegas. And then going to see Kenny again on Saturday because our friends Johnny and Dana, Johnny, our bass player, he's coming into town, and we're going to go see Kenny twice, basically. And then over the weekend, Sunday, got a gig in San Diego at the Casa Tortuga, one of our favoritist places to play. All right. Well, I had some other requests I got to make sure that I didn't miss out on. Oh, I know. My friend Kevin wanted to hear Alabama. I was down in Alabama doing a gig, and we were on our way back from Key West, I think it was, and I was walking our dog Odie on the beach, and I was thinking, man, how lucky am I? It's during the week. It's November, but it's like 70 degrees in November on the beach, and I'm just walking my dog in the middle of the week, and that's my job. I could never have asked to have a job that cool if I got to pick. It just kind of got lucky and fell backwards into it. So, this song is about Gulf Shores. I don't know if any of y'all ever go down to a thing called the Meeting of the Minds. It's coming up in October. But I started going down there for a thing called the Frank Brown Songwriter Festival back in 2001. And I got a lot of memories about that old place down there between Gulf Shores and Pensacola, Orange Beach, that area. So that day I was walking on the beach, I thought, I want to write a song about that place. Because as a kid, I didn't even realize Alabama had a beach. Growing up, I never thought much about the beach. Living in Missouri, it was too far out of reach. And I guess I never looked at a map all that close. I was just a kid, so how was I to know that Alabama touched the Gulf of Mexico? It's just 60 miles of sugar sand between Florida and Dixieland. First time I saw it was with my dad at sunset on a Harley that he used to have. And then a few years later on, I got to go down there and sing my songs where they listen and we touched them with the stories that we told. And Alabama touched the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, how I love that old stretch of sand. I made a lot of memories and some real good friends. Most times with a beer in my hand at the Floribama at 2 a.m. It's a magic place, it's always felt like home, where Alabama touched the Gulf of Mexico. Well, it was at the festival in November, a night that I'll always remember. Got paired with this guy that played piano, harmonicas, guitar, and mando. I loved all those songs of his. We were kindred spirits and instant friends, and we traveled all the way from England to Kosovo. A musical MacGyver that I came to know, where Alabama touched the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, how I love that old stretch of sand. Made a lot of memories and some real good friends. Most times with a beer in my hand at the Floribama at 2 a.m. It's a magic place, it's always felt like home. Where Alabama touched the Gulf of Mexico. Hard to believe it's been 14 years. I stopped at the Bama for a couple beers. Tried to find where we all signed our name on that post. And I thought about him all the way to Port St. Joe. And how we scattered his ashes right there off the coast. Where Alabama touched the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, I see my cousin Rob is on here. Howdy, Rob. And Catherine and Clayton and everybody. Thank you guys for joining me on my live stream here. Now, I've got a couple of different things going on here. Doing a live stream, you got to be able to multitask. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to perform, sing, talk, and run all your equipment. And all that kind of thing. All whilst playing songs and having a cocktail. So, anyway. I was thinking about the song, Miss That Mississippi. So, the office here, the 8-track office where I work at, this is the studio that I work in. And it's in Hermitage, Tennessee, which is just out past the airport. Out past the Percy Priest Lake, where Redneck Yacht Club was born. And I used to live out past here in a place called Mount Juliet. And I would have to go down this road called New Hope Road, which is out here past Tulip Grove Road. And I remember there was a boat for sale alongside the road. And I kept thinking, man, I'm going to buy that boat. I'm going to buy that thing. I'd see it every day. I never did end up buying it. But we ended up getting a free boat. But there really is no such thing as a free boat. Let me tell you what happened. So, because of the song Redneck Yacht Club, we hooked up with this boat company, and they gave us a free boat to use. And so the people at the marina were so excited and happy for us to, have this free boat. They gave us a free boat slip. So we got to leave the boat in the water all the time. We didn't even have to trailer it in or anything. We could just go down there, get on the boat, and go. It was awesome. So after a few weeks, I started noticing, the boat seems like it's getting some green stuff on the side, like, algae or whatever. So I asked the resident boat mechanic down there on the dock, what's the best thing to get that green stuff off of the boat? And now this guy's name was Snake, so I will say this. Maybe get a second opinion if your mechanic's name is Snake. What he told me was, he said, oh man, just put it on the trailer, pull it out, get a Scotch-Brite pad, just wipe her down, man. That green stuff go right away. And he was right. You know what else Scotch-Brite pads do? They get rid of clear coat. So, yeah. So the free boat ended up costing about, I think it was $4,500 in buffing out the boat to get it back to where it was. So there is no such thing as a free boat. Anyway, but I still don't have a boat now. But anyway, so Miss That Mississippi. This is from my cousin Rob. Oh, my friend Dawn is on here also. Hey, Dawn. I spent a lot of time as a boy between Missouri and Illinois on that big muddy that flows down to New Orleans. I was a bona fide river rat, orange life jacket and my Cardinals cap, and when it came to that Chris crap, Dad taught me everything. He said, now back it down the ramp by the gas dock. Don't forget the crickets and the tackle box. Ice down the cooler, load up the skis. Hold on to that road, boy, bend your knees. Work up the courage to jump that way. I get so hungry that I start to shake. Barbecue chips and a great knee high. We had the time of our lives, making those memories. Man, I miss Mississippi. Horn blasting on a big old barge, the waves crashing on the sandbar, and my river shoes skipping rocks and mussel shells. The youngest daughter of my dad's best friend. Man, that girl was heaven sent. And when she smiled at me, I felt something I'd never felt. I couldn't stop writing her name in the sand. There wasn't much kissing, just holding hands, till it was time to go. Pack up the boat. I thought about her pretty face all the way home. The driftwood bonfire burning bright. Trying to find the buoys with a searchlight. Following the channel, red ride return. Dog tired and sunburned and falling fast asleep. Man, I miss Mississippi. I saw a boat for sale on my way to town. Pulled over, wrote the number down. If it's still there when my paycheck comes, we're gonna hitch it up to the truck. And then we'll back it down the ramp by the gas stop. Son, don't forget the crickets and the tackle box. Ice down a cooler, load up the skis. Hang on to that road, boy, bend your knees. Work up the courage to jump that way, just like we did in the old days. Barbecue chips and a great knee high. We'll have the time of our lives, making those memories. Man, I miss Mississippi. Man, I miss Mississippi. All right. Cheers, y'all. All right. Well, Clayton asked me for another song that I have not played in a while. Clayton, I guess I knew you a long time ago. I got a lot of new songs since then. The song called Rather Be Happy Than Right, that's one that I wrote with a guy named Jason McCoy, and he just got a big honor up in Canada. They named an award after him. I guess he's been hosting this Canadian award show for years, and they gave him the first award. It's called the Real McCoy Award for him hosting for many years. So I guess whoever the next host is will get that award. I don't know. Anyway, saw it on Facebook. But glad that y'all are here. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a live stream, and I just thought, heck, get on here. It'd be fun. I love it. Tomorrow, actually, I'm doing a gig in Nashville. Now, I used to play down on Lower Broadway back in the day. I'm talking 1998, 99, 2000, 25, 26, 27 years ago. And I loved it. It's where I really feel like I honed my stage stuff, doing those gigs. It was fun. But hey, recently a buddy of mine called and said, hey, we need a fill-in. Can you come down and do a fill-in? And I was like, yeah, sure. So last week we did a fill-in, a daytime fill-in. So tomorrow is another fill-in gig down at the stage on Broadway on the rooftop. So I don't know how hot that's going to be. I'm hoping there's some shade. But it's pretty fun just getting up there, playing your songs and taking requests and all that kind of thing. I love it down there. It's great. It's a lot of fun. So I wasn't going to drink today, but that's what I always say. I know I need to slow down, but any day above ground, hell, that's a reason to celebrate. Lord knows once I begin, one beer will turn into 10. I shouldn't have, but I did it anyway. I wasn't gonna drink today. In my truck, just minding my own. Never should have picked up that phone. Headed straight home after work. The boys called and said, what a one hurt. But I wasn't gonna drink today. And that's what I always say. I know I need to slow down, but any day above ground, well, that's a reason to celebrate. Lord knows once I begin, one barrel turn into 10. I shouldn't have, but I did it anyway. I wasn't gonna drink today. And that, okay, I was gonna tell you a little story about this song. This song came from an experience I had down in Texas. I went on the road to write songs with this guy named Josh Abbott. He was doing a tour with Pat Green, and they had recorded a song of mine called My Texas. Actually, me and Josh wrote it. So when I saw they were going on tour, I thought, well, hell, I need to get on that tour. Maybe we'll write another song for either Josh or for Pat Green. So went on the bus to write songs with them, and they picked me up on a Monday. And we were on the bus all week, and honestly, we just partied all week. We didn't get anything done. They dropped me back off at my car the following Sunday. And I had a gig that afternoon at a place called Pootie's Hilltop, just outside of Austin in Spicewood, Texas. And there was an event going on that day. That was the day that I met Billy Joe Shaver. I met Gary P. Nunn, Larry Joe Taylor, a guy who was a new artist at the time, William Clark Green. All the three named guys were there. And me. So after being on the bus all week and partying too hard, by Sunday I was feeling a little weak, I guess you could say. I was feeling a little rough. It was friggin' hot out though at Pootie's. It was Nashville. It was Texas in the summertime. And Larry Joe Taylor said, "You want a Coors Light?" And I said, "Dang it, Larry Joe, I wasn't gonna drink today." But I started having some more Coors Lights, and one thing led to the other. Monday morning now, a full week after I had left on the trip, I woke up on the couch up with my buddy Kevin Fowler. He said, "You don't look so good, Puddin'." And I told him the story, and I said, I told Larry Joe, I wasn't gonna drink today. And that's what I always say. I know I need to slow down, but any day above ground, hell, that's a reason to celebrate. The Lord knows once I began, one barrel turned into 10. I shouldn't have, but I did it anyway. I wasn't gonna drink today. I shouldn't have, but I did it anyway. I wasn't gonna drink today. Wait a second. I forgot my favorite verse. You know I only drank socially, but I got a lot of friends, you see. Beer drinking folks just like me. But 7 days of that don't make 1 week. Whew, that is the truth. So I wasn't gonna drink today, and that's what I always say. I know I need to slow down, but any day above ground, hell, that's a reason to celebrate. Lord knows once I began, one barrel turned into 10. Shouldn't have, but I did it anyway. I wasn't gonna drink today. I shouldn't have, but I did it anyway. I wasn't gonna drink today. That's right. But I was doing a live stream, and it's always fun to have a cocktail when you're doing a live stream, That's one of the things about, being a musician is, we don't get drug tested. It's kind of encouraged, really, in our business. Maybe for better, for worse. I don't know. But anyway, cheers, y'all. Well, I think we just got our farthest away person on the live stream tonight. We got a guy checking in from north of Scotland. Man, thanks for joining me on here, on YouTube. I went to Scotland last year for the first time. It was amazing. We went up to St. Andrews and spent a lot of time around Edinburgh, around the castle down there, and I'm hoping to go back again. I love it. Scotland was great. On that same trip, we went to Ireland, too. We went to Belfast and Dublin. Got to see the Titanic Museum. That was really, really cool. If you've never done that, go to Belfast and check it out. That's where they built the Titanic. This is a good segue into the next song I want to do. So, what I did not know, which I learned on this trip to Belfast, was that they built the Titanic in Belfast, and then they took it down to England. You know, as everybody knows, it left from England when it went to New York. And that's kind of all I knew about it, really, other than watching the movie. But what I did not know was that after it left England, it stopped in France and picked up some people there. And then it also stopped in Ireland, and it picked up some people there before it set out to sea. And I never knew that. The interesting thing is I wrote this song called O'Reilly Luck, which is kind of about some Irish people getting on the Titanic. Oh, wait, I just gave away the ending. Well, I mentioned the Titanic anyway. But one day I was going out to write with my buddy, Steve Williams, and another guy, Will Rambo, and I did not have any ideas. I could not think of I had nothing. When you write every day, it's hard to come up with something original. So I cheated. I went online and I looked up great anecdotes for speeches. And there was a bunch of little short, funny stories and stuff. And I read this story as an anecdote you could put in a speech. And I thought, wow, that'd be a cool song. So that's where this song came from. But it wasn't until I went to the Titanic Museum in Belfast that I realized, hey, I mean, our song, you know, was correct before, but now I realize it's really correct. Granddaddy used to sit me on his knee and tell me how it was in the old country. Famine and floods, the crops had failed. Listened for hours as he told his tale. Said there must have been a curse on the family name, but he swore he'd be the one to break that chain. The money that he saved from the sweat of his brow, he'd get him out of there someday, somehow. Well, he never was much of a gambling man, but he dreamed of passage to the promised land. Bet it all on a better life in America. He said we'll change our fate in this damned O'Reilly luck. I can only imagine the look on his face. Tickets in their hand as they counted the days. 11 passports, no turning back. Deciding what they should and they shouldn't pack. But the baby caught the fever just days before, and the doctor hung a sheet on their front door. For 2 long weeks they'd be quarantined, stranded with nothing but a shattered dream. Well, he never was much of a gambling man, but he dreamed of passage to the promised land. Bet it all on a better life in America. But he cursed his fate and his damned O'Reilly luck. La 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 la. La 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 la. Granddaddy told the story till he passed away. How the people all cheered on the docks that day, while he shook his fist with a tear in his eye at the beautiful ship of the White Star Line. And he cursed his fate and his damned O'Reilly luck as the mighty Titanic sailed into the sun. Well, he never was much of a gambling man, but he dreamed of passage to the promised land. Bet it all on a better life in America. But he changed their fate and their damned O'Reilly luck. La 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 la. Yeah. All right. Well. Okay. Well, I wanted to let y'all know. One of our folks was asking, when are you coming to Bandera, Texas? I love Bandera. I love the 11th Street Cowboy Bar. We lived in Bandera once for about 6 months. Had some dear friends that lived out there. Used to play at a place called the Longhorn, which was formerly owned by our friend Brian Black. He's Clint Black's brother. Incidentally, he and his wife have a Texas Longhorn named Tex, and they would bring it out to our Lone Star Luau event every year. They would bring him Tex out there. He didn't come this year, but you could ride on Tex, get your picture taken with Tex. It was pretty cool. Anyway, Texas is pretty awesome. I miss it. I have to say I miss it. But here currently in Nashville at the 8-Track Studios where I work, working for this company, 8-Track Entertainment, we have some artists you may have heard of, Shenandoah, the people that did Sunday in the South, and Next to You, Next to Me, and Mama Knows, and 2 Dozen Roses. Those guys are on the same label that I'm with. And Dan Tominski, who's the guy that is the voice of the Man of Constant Sorrow in the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And also Dan played with Alison Krauss for years, and he's an incredible artist on his own in bluegrass. And also we have Ira Dean. Ira Dean used to be in the group Trick Pony. And he's currently on the road playing bass for Brooks and Dunn. So if you've seen Brooks and Dunn this year, you've seen Ira. He's the bass player. So, anyway, but I say all that traveling stuff to say this, that if you're coming to Nashville, got a bunch of stuff coming up this summer here. We used to travel all around the country, my wife Coley and I. We still do. This weekend's Missouri. Next week is we're playing in Vegas and then San Diego. July we're playing in Denver, and then August probably going to be up around Seattle. But for the most part, we've kind of gotten off the road. We were gone all the time, constantly. But now we are living here, writing songs, working for 8-Track, and but I got some shows coming up around Nashville. If you're coming to town, check my schedule at thomshepard.com, and got some things coming up. Going to be playing at Eric Church's new bar. It's called Chiefs. I'm very excited about that. I got a date there in July, one in August, and one in September. And it's going to be part of my songwriter series where I'm interviewing hit writers. And this is going to be the first time that we're doing it in front of a live audience at Chiefs on Broadway, Eric Church's bar. You have to get tickets for it. You can't just show up. You have to get tickets ahead of time. So that will be end of July, end of August, end of September. And also going to be hosting a show on an internet station called Dockside Live. And we're going to do that from the old Elm Hill Marina. The restaurant there is called Shipwreck Cove. But Elm Hill Marina, that's where my buddy Steve had his boat. It's the home of the Redneck Yacht Club. It's where Redneck Yacht Club originated, down there at Elm Hill Marina. And those shows are going to be every Thursday, starting in July 10th. I'm going to be hosting the radio show and playing some songs, talking. Maybe we'll stream it live. I don't know yet. So we'll see. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out and doing a few things, especially Seattle, Gordy. I need to come up to Michigan, I guess, too, Rob. All right. Well, let's see. My friend Jim wanted to hear One Boot. Let's do that one here. This song was inspired by we were doing a lot of gigs in Texas and a lot of gigs in Florida. And I found myself telling people, yeah, you know, it's like we got one boot in Texas and one flip-flop in Florida. And my friend Rob Hill one day said to me, he said, what if you said one boot in the red dirt? Because the red dirt is what they call the Texas music scene and Oklahoma music scene. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's good. Plus, flip-flop in Florida is really hard to rhyme. So I changed it up a bit. But this is one of my favorite songs I've written. And I'll tell you why. It's because it's basically writing about my life. And it's a true story. All of it. We burn up so many miles between the Lone Star and Sunshine States. People ask, which one do you like the best? Man, it's really hard to say. 'Cause we got songs about cowboys, we write songs about the beach, but we ain't just one or the other. I guess we're somewhere in between. I got a shiner in my left hand and a land shark in my right. Ain't nothing like a Sarasota sunset or a South Padre Saturday night. Paradise to me is somewhere between a steel guitar and a steel drum band. One boot in the red dirt and one barefoot in the sand. Let's go! So now we're headed south out of Key Largo on a sunny A1A kind of day. But I've been thinking about Green Hall and looking back that Houston rodeo stage. Now this resistol straw makes the perfect shade, but so does a tall palm tree. Looking at my life through these Maui gems, you know it all looks pretty good to me. I got some Deep Eddy in my left hand and some Siesta Key in my right. Siesta Key, toasted coconut rum. If you don't know about this rum, you need to get it. They have it in Florida. It might be some other places. Siesta Key, toasted coconut rum. It will change your life. There ain't nothing like a Pensacola sunset or a South Padre Saturday night. Now I'm right at home on the back of a horse or on a Cape Coral catamaran. One boot in the red dirt and one barefoot in the sand. Now I love them both, but you know you can't be two places at one time. I think the perfect compromise is that Texas Gulf Coast line, with a margarita in my left hand and a land shark in my right. Down in Corpus and in Key West, you know it's always Saturday night. Paradise to me is somewhere between a steel guitar and a steel drum band. One boot in the red dirt and one barefoot in the sand. It's that coastal combination that makes me who I am. One boot in the red dirt and one barefoot in the sand. have to say, I love going to the beach, but I've kind of always been more of a lake guy, because there's no sharks and no hurricanes. Just saying. Which is in a song called Live on a Lake that I have. But it's true. I've always kind of liked the lake a little bit better. Speaking of the lake, this part of the show is brought to you by the Redneck Yacht Club. These are some metal signs we have that you can get on my website. You can go to thomshepard.shop, and we have these. They're perfect for your tiki bar, or if you have a man cave or any of that kind of stuff. Made out of high quality aluminum, but you should get one of these. Also, we got some new things here. Some new ball caps I'm trying out. Now, I was thinking it might be cool to come up with a new Redneck Yacht Club logo, right? So, check this out. Let me know what you think. This is gray with white here. We have this kind. Or for the ladies, we got, pink. Got that. I like this one. This is great for 4th of July. It's red, white, and blue. God bless America. We have a couple of these here that are awesome. Or we have just the old, basic red, depending on, let's just say it's red. We'll call that red. And we also have some black ones. Oh, I just noticed this one here it's black with red text, but we also have some that are black with black text on it. But anyway, these are awesome hats. My son got me a hat. These are called Richardson 112s. And my son got me this awesome ball cap. Let's see, I thought I had it in here. Maybe I don't. Wait, here it is. So my son works at the golf course in the summer when he's not going to college. He works at a place called the Idaho Club. And this is it right there. You can see it has a moose on it. But anyway, I've kind of worn this one out. But it's the same kind of hat, and I love this hat. I wear these all the time. They're so comfortable. The Richardson 112. So we got Redneck Yacht Club hats that are Richardson 112s. So again, you can find those on thomshepard.shop or go to thomshepard.com, and there's a link on there also. So anyway, I appreciate you guys joining me here on a Wednesday night. It's great to come to you live from Hermitage, Tennessee at the offices of 8-Track Entertainment, where I am a songwriter for that company, and I'm also producing video content and stuff on YouTube. I'm interviewing songwriters about their hits and things like that, and we've got a lot of things cooking. Oh, it's exciting. It is really great to be back in Nashville. I loved living in Texas. That was a lot of fun doing that, but it's Nashville just feels like home, and I feel like we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and so glad to be back here. So cheers, y'all. Happy Wednesday. All right. Let's see. My friend Rob says he's got 1,800. Oh, he says 1,800 coconut tequila or toasted coconut rum. Well, I'd say it's a pretty close race there because they're both incredibly good, and I'd say the 1,800 tequila is probably a little bit smoother, maybe, than the toasted coconut rum, but I don't know. It's a toss-up. The toasted coconut rum from Siesta Key is also great if you put it in Coke Zero. I love it. So, we have a request. What's that?
Wyoming Blue Eyes.
Oh, you got it. Okay. So I haven't put anything out in a little while, on the music channels. The Pelican is the latest record that me and Coley did back in 22. But I haven't put anything out in a while. And so I was thinking of maybe kind of putting out an EP of some songs. And I've got a few songs that I've written that are kind of Texas or Western themed. So kind of working on that. So keep your eye out for that. But this song here is called Wyoming Blue Eyes. I'll send this out to Jennifer Gates. After taking me an 8-hour drive, I barely missed an 8-second ride coming back up to Cheyenne. Wasn't really in my plans, but I stopped off at the Cadillac Ranch. She said, "Cowboy, how's about one dance?" I was gonna head on back to Austin. And that's when I got lost in those Wyoming blue eyes, wilder than those big wide western skies. Gotta make just one more ride, but all I'm thinking about tonight are those Wyoming blue eyes. I've always loved me some old Chris LeDoux. I wonder what he'd tell me to do. Probably, "Cowboy, turn that truck around. Never been the kind for settling down. Ain't it crazy how just one night can make you wanna change your whole life?" Trooper clocked me at 85. He said, "Cowboy, where's the fire?" It's in her Wyoming blue eyes, wilder than those big wide western skies. Gotta make just one more ride, and I'm headed back tonight to my Wyoming blue eyes. Kind of place where you can make a life if you got someone standing right by your side. Now I'm looking for a piece of land just outside of old Cheyenne, for my Wyoming blue eyes, wilder than those big wide western skies. A place to call our own. Wanna build a home for my Wyoming blue eyes. Never more to roam, just wanna make a home with my Wyoming blue eyes. Wyoming blue. Aha, yes, thank you. That's good. Also, a tip, tipping on Venmo is encouraged, and we'll get your song played faster. So.
That's not true.
All right. Well, I was kind of thinking about maybe playing some new stuff, if y'all want. I did like a sneak preview of the live stream, and I got a new song I'm working on. I'm not sure it's quite done yet. I think it's about, there's maybe one line that I still need tweaking, but I think it's pretty good. It goes up. We were drinking in my buddy's driveway down on the coast. He was flushing out the motor of a center console fishing boat. He said it's a pain in the ass, but if you want it to last, you gotta do it every time. 'Cause that salt water's hard on these engines, oh, but I don't mind. And then he rolled up his hose and took a pull on his beer. Said, guess that's the price you pay for living down here. 'Cause there's salt in the water, salt in the air. It adds a lot to the wear and tear of our boats and our trucks and our houses and everything else. That old salt water's hard on everything. It's hard on everything except your mental health. Now my doc said I gotta cut back on all the salt that I put on my fries. He He said you gotta change a few things up if you don't wanna die. And I don't wanna die. But it's been on the rim of every margarita that I've ever drank. And I'd like to take his advice, but you know what I think. There's salt in the water, salt in the air, salt in our food, man, it's everywhere. It's hard on your heart and your kidneys and everything else. Yeah, that salt's hard on everything except your mental health. Guess I'll take my chances, roll the dice, 'cause if this is how I feel down here in paradise, might end up a little bit weathered, but then again I might live forever. 'Cause that salt in the water, salt in the air, got a way of getting rid of all your cares. And it brings me a peace of mind like I've never felt. That old salt's hard on everything. It's hard on everything. Hard on everything except your mental health. Yeah. I think that was inspired by a trip that I took down to Galveston, visiting our friends Mark and Tammy. That they live down there and they run the KOA campground, and we have done some shows actually for them down there. It's a really awesome place down there, and I think he was the one that I was talking to about that. So anyway. So let's see, would y'all like to hear another new song? This is one that we're kind of working out. I think this one's about ready to go. And thank you, Clayton, for commenting on my lyrics. I really appreciate that, man. And I would like to go to Scotland, 120 miles from the nearest McDonald's. If I go to Scotland, I don't want to go to McDonald's. I don't want to go to McDonald's. I take that back. I do like to go to the McDonald's in foreign countries just to see what they have that we don't have, you know? They always have some weird stuff that we don't have here. But mainly, I want to have whatever's local, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so me and my buddy Steve Williams, like I said, the guy that I wrote Redneck Yacht Club with, we wrote Sand in Her Shoes. We just wrote that last song, The Kitchen Table. We wrote that. Wait a minute, I haven't played that one yet, have I? I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, I'm fixing to play The Kitchen Table. Anyway, but this is our latest that we have come up with. I had a big old bowl of Captain Crunch. Dad was sipping on his coffee cup. He'd light up a Winston, shuffling through the morning news. Mom with curlers in her hair, sacking up our lunches. The smell of bacon in the air and her number 5 perfume. My old dog sitting underneath, just wagging and waiting. Man, I miss those morning conversations. It's where we blew out birthday candles, where we wrapped Christmas presents. It's where my high school sister told us all she was expecting. It's where we argued about politics, music and religion. It's where we talked it out when our points of view were different. Man, I wish we were all still sitting round the kitchen table. It's where Dad told Mom his job went south, with all their unpaid bills laid out. I swear I drank my first beer a few years shy of 21. We filled out college applications, wedding invitations. We congregated, celebrated family's first grandson. Swear we blew out birthday candles, swear we wrapped Christmas presents. But my brother told us all when he was signing up after 9/11. It's where they put the casseroles when he didn't make it back. It's where we placed that folded flag in the chair where he always sat. Man, I wish we were all there sitting round the kitchen table. I still love my Captain Crunch. I'm sipping on Dad's coffee cup, hanging here all by myself, scrolling through the morning news. Kids are running out the door, no one's got time anymore. Everybody's on their phone, seems like 24/7. How do we get so disconnected? This old crazy world is so much different. I wonder would it be if we all spend more time sitting round the kitchen table. That's brand new stuff, written with my old buddy Steve Williams. Anyway, alrighty, well, I think I'm going to do a couple of more songs probably and then sign off here. But it's been fun. I have to do this again, like I said, next week, Wednesday. I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be in Las Vegas. Going to the Kenny Chesney show at the Sphere, which I cannot wait. I've been seeing people have been posting sneak previews and stuff on Facebook, and I'm not watching. I don't want to know. I don't want to see it until I get there. I think it's going to be great. Anyway, cheers, y'all. Happy Wednesday. All right, well, let's see. Man, these cocktails are wonderful. All right, like I said, if you are traveling to Nashville, look us up because got a bunch of things coming up. Going to be playing at Chiefs on Broadway. That's Eric Church's bar. Now, that is a thing you have to get a ticket for. You go to Chiefs on Broadway and go to their website, and it's me interviewing hit songwriters and us performing in front of a live audience, just like I've been doing on my YouTube channel here recently. And also got some shows coming up out at a place called Shipwreck Cove, which is at the old Elm Hill Marina, for a thing called Dockside Live. And let me see what else. I made myself some notes. Oh, also, if you're in Nashville and you want to do something really unique and different, we have a friend that has a charter company, and we're going to start doing some Redneck Yacht Club sunset cruises. So if you want to take a boat out for a sunset cruise in Nashville, you can book that. We're going to have that on the website soon. It's not on there yet. It's going to be on the website. Basically, you can rent a boat for a couple hours, for a pontoon boat for a couple hours for a sunset cruise, and you get the bonus of me coming in and performing on there as you do your sunset cruise. It should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing that. My buddy Mark Hall is putting that together. We're working on that. One other thing, speaking of water-related cruises, is that if you're going down to the Meeting of the Minds this year in Gulf Shores, we're going to be doing the pirate ship again. We did the pirate ship cruise last year, which was pretty cool. It's an old boat. It looks like a pirate ship that comes out of Orange Beach, Alabama. And we're going to be doing two of those, one on Wednesday, October 22nd, and one on Saturday, October 25th. So you can find tickets for those also at thomshepard.shop or thomshepard.com and click the store link. Anyway, so So yeah, I think maybe I'll do another song and then I'm going to sign off here. But it's been great having everybody on here this evening. Let's do a farewell song. I got the idea for this song when I was packing up stuff. We had a storage unit in Texas. And when we went on our 3-year motorhome journey, we took all of our stuff and we just stuck it in this storage unit while we were gone. Well, when we were done with that and we were going to move up to Idaho, we cleared out the storage unit and put it all in the trailer so we could move. And I remember pulling that storage unit door down and thinking to myself, well, adios, Texas. It's been fun. See you later. Hopefully we'll be back. Well, we did end up going back to Texas. But shortly after we got back to Texas, an old friend of mine named Noah Gordon from Nashville contacted me one night and he said, do you have any songs for Shenandoah? I'm cutting a record on them and I'm looking for stuff. Well, I sent him a bunch of songs. I didn't end up getting a cut on the record, but he did invite me to their #1 party when they recut 2 Dozen Roses with Luke Combs. Anyway, I said, man, I've been kind of thinking about maybe getting back in the songwriting game full time. He said, well, let's talk about it. So over the last year, we have worked out a deal and moved back to Nashville. And so now this song has a double meaning. Originally, it was about leaving Texas for Idaho. Now, it's about leaving Texas for Nashville. And this also isn't out yet, but it will be. Adios, Texas. What a wild ride it's been. I'll be counting all the hours till I see you, old friend. Adios, Texas. Hasta luego, San Antonio. I'll miss my hill country home till I'm back again. But until then, adios, Texas. Oh, I'm leaving out this morning from this land that I love. And now I know how Gus and Woodrow felt when they left Lonesome Dove. You gotta do what you gotta do. You've gotta listen to your heart. But my Lone Star State you'll always claim its very biggest part. No matter where we are, adios, Texas. What a wild ride it's been. I'll be counting all the hours till I see you, old friend. Adios, Texas. Hasta luego, San Antonio. I'll miss my hill country home till I'm back again. But until then, adios, Texas. Where I wanna hang my hat when I take my final bow. So this ain't goodbye. It's just so long for now. Adios, Texas. What a wild ride it's been. I'll be counting all the hours till I see you, old friend. Adios, Texas. Hasta luego, San Antonio. I'll miss my hill country home till I'm back again. But until then, Adios, Texas. We'll see you in Nashville. Adios, Texas. Adios.